Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining our channel again today. If you're new, please remember to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to comment and share. Today we get to witness one of the best debates of all times with Mutabaruka, a strong believer of Rastafarianism. He doesn't believe in Christianity. Also Chisholm and Ian Boyne. Let's get right into the video.
Of Christianity, which has taken place on this program. People have been yelling out, the Christian community has been saying, where is Clinton Chisholm? Well, he has been in Florida for several years now, but he came back recently to launch this bombshell of a book, Revelations on Rastafari. Perhaps the first full-length Christian critique of Rastafari. The first work which attempts to prove the errors of Rastafari. Well, Mutabaruka is here to reply to him. There are some central claims of this book, Revelations of Rastafari. One, I quote, Rastafari's view of Emperor Haile Selassie as a black man's God is marred by ignorance and misconceptions. You know that Clinton does not mince word under any guise of courtesy. Because the emperor was not black, Clinton Chisholm says. He was not a Negro, and he had no name or title that was unique to him. King of Kings, Lord of Lords, that was not unique to him.
Haile Selassie was a firm believer of Jesus Christ. He has made many posts and he's always directing people to serve Jesus Christ. Therefore, Haile Selassie did not ask any man to worship him.
The traditional idea that Emperor Haile Selassie is a direct descendant of Solomon lacks historical corroboration and is refuted by the fact of the non-Solomonic Negroid Zagwe dynasty ruling in Ethiopia for over a century, and as well by the century-long collapse of the Ethiopian monarchy in the middle of the 18th century of this era. Moreover, all the emperors of the last 200 years of the monarchy were unrelated by blood, except for one, despite the fact that all claimed to be Solomonic. The notion that modern Ethiopia is spoken of in the Bible is misguided, because every such reference speaks of Kush, which is Sudan, not the modern landmass known as Ethiopia. The Kebra Negas account of the connection between Solomon, the Queen of Sheba, and the Ethiopian rulers is based on fiction. So too is the story of the ark being taken to Ethiopia. Emperor Haile Selassie was self-consciously a professing Christian. Indeed,
yes, he was.
Defender of the Christian faith in Ethiopia, and he encouraged others to accept Jesus Christ of Nazareth as Lord and Savior. Therefore, Clinton says that Rastafari is based on theological ignorance, is misguided, and Christians are provided with the ammunition to destroy Rastafari in this book. He's encouraging people to get this book. This is what Christians need to shut up Mutabaruka finally, and to silence him and all of those who hold to Rastafari. But this night belonged to these two men. They have met before in combat. Tonight there is a rematch. This is the clash of clash. Cartel and Movado, they can't come to this kind of clash. Ninja Man, Merciless. The Clinton Chisholm Mutabaruka clash is the clash. Gentlemen, boom bang respect.
The floor is now yours, Mutabaruka and Clinton Chisholm. Let's listen to both sides of the story. Mutabaruka does not believe in Christianity. He does not believe in God. And Chisholm is a man of God. Let's listen.
How you mean? You know, a religious attack around the road there right now.
To bring a certain thing in Jamaica.
Well, it's still
ammunition.
Yeah, all right, true. Yeah, father, yes. Broadcasting commission, right?
Yeah, it's ammunition. No, I mean, you know, what kind of metaphor?
But Clinton, some of you mean arguments. I've mentioned some, but let's lay out your point, you know, some of the key points here in the book. I turn
The
over
most
to you.
shocking one I found where the book has been mentioned and promoted is the fact that Ethiopia, the landmass that we now call Ethiopia,
Yes.
is not really mentioned in the Bible. That's a shocker for people because the
Or
first
is
thing
it
that comes to
Ethiopia
mind,
shall stretch forth his hands
that's
to
right,
our
and the
God?
Ethiopian eunuch.
Ethiopian eunuch.
The unfortunate reality is that Ethiopia was a vague term in ancient times, even coming to the first century with the New Testament documents. So it had reference to all of the countries, all of Africa.
Let's call it Ethiopia.
Yeah, it was called Ethiopia at times in literature, and the countries south of Egypt. But when you find the word Ethiopia in the Old Testament in particular, then the Hebrew word is Cush. Cush is modern Sudan. And Ethiopian eunuch in the New Testament is also from the same era, modern Sudan, where the term Candace was used for the Merite queens.
So how you explain the Ethiopian Orthodox Church being in
But the Ethiopian Orthodox
long.
Church is a modern Ethiopian landmass
Modern.
creation.
Yes.
Yeah. It's on the modern landmass that it came up.
so the view that it was the Ethiopian eunuch who went back and whose work eventually led to the Ethiopian Orthodox Church? That's not
No, that's not credible.
It was he who introduced Christianity to what we know as Ethiopia. That's not true.
Two brothers, and the history of the church reports that the two brothers came to the Ethiopian area, and the monarch then accepted their testimony concerning Jesus Christ, consecrated his life to Jesus Christ, and commissioned. So Christianity was spread in Ethiopia, not from the people up to the monarch. It was from the monarch down to the people.
Yes.
The monarch accepted Christ as his savior, and then commissioned these two brothers to go and spread the word across Ethiopia.
And this view that Christianity is really a white man's religion and European religion, you dismiss that also?
So I blame the people who have studied at university.
I've heard a lot of people say that before. So Christianity was never a religion that was solely for white people. That's nonsense. First, under the Old Testament, God was the God of the Jews. The Jews are not white people. So there is no way Christianity could have been solely for white people. Now, under the New Testament, Christianity is for all nations. We of other nations that are not Jews, we are Gentiles. God has accepted all nations. So yes, that is nonsense for persons who believe that Christianity was originally for white people.
And still parrot that kind of a foolishness, because Christianity is a Middle Eastern religion. It's not a white man's religion. Christianity was in countries in Asia and the Middle East long before it came to Europe. Long before. So I mean, it would be difficult to justify the view that Christianity, which predated its arrival in Europe, is a white man's religion.
So when we as black people accept Christianity, we're not turning our back on Africa and going to Europe.
No. Christianity was in Africa long before it entered Europe.
Long before it entered Europe. What are some of the other key points that you make?
The issue of the connection between King Solomon of Israel and the Queen of Sheba and the so-called first emperor of Ethiopia also lacks historical verification. I mean, Solomon could have had sex with the Queen of Sheba. I grant that the man loved women and preferably supine, but there's no historical support that he slept with the Queen of Sheba or that they had a child together and that child became the first monarch in Ethiopia. No historical support for that at all.
So this book, the Kebra Negas, that, you know, some Rastafarians hail.
And Ethiopians too.
Ethiopians, yeah.
It's a tremendous book, you know. It's not completely mythical. It's just that it goes overboard. You can't rely on the Kebra Negas for historical material.
You can't.
You have to really read it with your glasses on and your glasses wiped clean. Because there are times when the Kebra Negas messes up historically. It, for instance, confuses Candace, 1st century monarch, with the Queen of Sheba, who's a 10th century monarch. The Kebra Negas calls the two women one and the same. Even though you have some 9 centuries separating them. So there are those historical blunders in there. So you can't just swallow it hook, line and sinker.
In your view, therefore, Clinton, Rastafari is our indigenous religious movement. We've exported it over the world. But it is based on sand.
A lot of sand.
Erroneous.
Use that metaphor, a lot of sand, yes.
Historically and theologically.
Misconceptions originated at the very beginning, from the foundations.
From the foundation.
The name of the movement, there were misconceptions. Now, I call the first one with the name Rastafari movement. Muta mentions it in a lecture he gave in, where was it? Is somewhere in
California.
I get some more lecture? I don't remember. You have to tell me.
This book by, I forgot the fellow's name, Rastafari 21st.
For a book of Rastafari 21st century. What Muta is it?
Yeah, what Muta
Listen.
mention is that why is the movement called Rastafari? When Selassie ceased being a Rast from 1928. And it's a point I've raised in my cassette from 1992. That it's a slight contradiction. I don't call it a major contradiction.
Yes.
That it's a slight contradiction. I don't call it a major contradiction.
Yes.
You see, the Rastas love the word Ras because for them, Ras, for many of them, I should say, let me qualify and speak God today.
Yeah.
For many Rastas, Ras means head creator, but Ras just means head of an army.
All right, we're going to get a chance.
Yeah, man. Yes. Yeah, we will come to you in the thing. Yes.
Ras Makon and his father was an army. He was head of an army. That's why it was called Ras. So Ras doesn't mean head creator. And his name, Haile Selassie, power of the Trinity, was not a name that he assumed out of thin air when he ascended the throne. That was his baptismal name.
I see. Do you believe that those who remain Rastafari, who die in the Rastafarian faith, believing that Selassie is God, that they can be saved?
Well, if they die, they don't have any chance of being saved if they believe that Selassie is God.
If they believe that Selassie is God,
If they believe that a man is God, there is no way that they can be saved, because we know that only through Jesus Christ they can be saved. Why believe in a man that is actually directing you to God? He didn't ask anyone to call him God. So why would you worship someone that's actually pointing you to the Creator to be saved? So if they stick to that belief in that man of Haile Selassie, they won't be saved.
They won't be saved.
They can't be saved by that because
they can't be saved.
Salvation is only in Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
That's right.
Or those who are fussy linguistically, Yeshua of Nazareth.
So if Muta doesn't accept Christ before he dies,
as his Lord and Savior,
he's going to be caught in hell.
He and I are going to part company. I'll be in heaven, he'll be in hell.
He'll be in hell.
I would wish us to be together in heaven.
I don't know if I should excuse.
When do you come back?
I don't know if I should excuse myself. I'm at the tour to go.
No, we'll come to you. We'll come to you and you'll have enough time to redeem yourself, and hopefully what Clinton has to say might help you to be redeemed and be in paradise with the Lord. This is the matchup that you have been asked for. Clinton Chisholm, Mutabaruka, only on Religious Hard Talk. We take our first break. Revelations of Rastafari is Clinton Chisholm's bombshell book, which is said to destroy the foundations of Rastafari and to expose it as a system riddled with historical, theological and philosophical errors. But Mutabaruka, the celebrity Rastafarian poet and philosopher, is here to contest the ideas of Clinton Chisholm. Muta is quoted quite extensively in this book. And we turn over now to Muta.
Yeah, we just want to say to Mr. Chisholm that history is very strange, that none of us who is expounding history was there at the time when history is made. So we have to rely on writers. Now I am contending that depending on who is writing and who want to interpret what is written, they will validate their logics and understanding after that individual or that person or the people who's writing this history. So what I'm hearing is that Clinton has read what the Rastafari used to validate Rastafari, and has also read the things them to disclaim Rastafari. And as a Christian, he chooses to accept the things them that disclaim Rastafari. Now the Rastafari choose to use the things them that Rastafari is holding fast to. Now a lot of things that Chisholm just said is not true.